Hello everyone and welcome back to the Edge Thermal Take eSports Weekly number 10 Dota 2 tournament. Powered by Androids and brought to you by me, your caster, your host here, Knaz. We're going to be casting this quarterfinal match, I believe, quarterfinal match between Cog Blockers and Meow Gaming. Hopefully it'll be a pretty close one, pretty good one. We've had a couple stomps going on thus far as we get further and further in the bracket, of course, however. We will get to the better and better teams until we get to those finals. Looks like we're going to have Cog on the dire side. They're going to have second pick, and that leaves the Radiant being played by Meow Gaming. First ban phase already completely finished here by the players. We got Nakes and Batrider going to be as the first two bans coming out. And Lifestealer, or excuse me, Lone Druid and Io going to be the bans coming out from Cog Blockers. So, pick phase is going to get underway. Here we have Magnus coming out as the first pick from Meow Gaming. So, apparently a hero that they're really highly valuing here. Even more so than the Nyx Assassin, which they're going to pass. Doesn't get banned out and does get passed over to Cog Blockers for them to take. They're going to pair it up with the Rubik. Hero that's pretty good against Magnus most of the time. As, of course, Reverse Polarity is a kind of easy spell to steal. It's not, typically you're probably not going to be using the Reverse Polarity on the Rubik. You're not going to be really catching him in the fights. He's going to try his best to stay back. And none of Magnus' abilities really cast quickly enough that Rubik shouldn't be able to just snag that Reverse Polarity. So maybe that's what they're thinking about, why they're choosing to pick it up here. And Nyx, obviously a very, very powerful ganker. Can be played in the support role, can be played in the mid lane. Meow taking Puck for their second pick. Thinking a little bit harder about what they want to go with their third one. That does leave them with two solos in the form of the Magnus and the Puck. Likely to see Magnus head towards the offlane, Puck hang out in the mid. But where they want to go from here, they have a lot of options. I would kind of expect to see them grab some sort of support here. Otherwise, their options for that are probably going to be pretty severely hampered by the second ban phase, and they're going to actually go with the Keeper of the Light, at the very least, to round out this first pick phase. So it leaves them with one support, and a ton of options for really what they want to do heading into the second pick phase. Probably carries are what we're going to be seeing banned out against them by Cog Blockers. But there are so many carries in the pool, really all you can hope to do is pull out the ones you really don't want to play against, and maybe we'll see like something like Gyrocopter banned out as a hero that most teams don't seem to really want to play against. Or possibly even Phantom Lancer, just because he combos up well with the Keeper Light. Cog, though, they're just going to take Nature's Prophet for their last pick. In this first pick phase, definitely here we're going to see in some sort of solo role. And looking like they have a lineup somewhat similar to what Meow Gaming have going on. They're still looking for a carry as well. We don't know as of yet how they are planning on running the Nyx. It's certainly possible they don't even know how they want to run that Nyx yet. If it's going to be as a support or as some sort of solo, probably in the mid lane. But they do have time, and we're going to hit the second ban phase, and that can help influence where they want to play it. If a lot of mid heroes get banned out, they could certainly just run the Nyx in the mid lane. It's not the worst matchup against Puck. You do have the mana burn, and Puck does typically rely on mana. It has pretty high int score to make that do as much damage as possible. But we're going to keep moving on here. The ban phase is already going. They're going to ban out Templar Assassin at the very least for the first one. So it does look like they're targeting mids a little bit more heavily. Maybe they're expecting to see that Nyx Assassin as a support. There's going to be a Queen of Pain as well coming from Meow. Bane, the first one from Cog Blockers, thinking now about their second. If they're going to keep going with supports, Bane's certainly a decent support, and probably the Cog is going to end up wanting some sort of carry that relies on BKB pretty heavily. Typically, Bane is picked up sort of as a counter to BKB carries. Just because that Fiend's Grip ability does go through BKB, they also have the Reverse Polarity that goes through BKB, gives them a lot of disable if they were to have picked up that Bane. They still have the disable, of course, in the form of the Reverse Polarity, but leaves them maybe lacking a little bit more. Shadow Demon, another support whose ability, his ult, goes through those BKB effects. So probably a good sign that that's what we're going to be seeing coming out from Cog Blockers. It's possible they could go for a hero like maybe Luna, who typically gets BKB, or maybe even Gyrocopter. But Meow just going to choose to ban out the Tinker there. Tinker hero we don't see a ton of. Some teams who have hero players that are confident in the play of the hero will run him from time to time, but most teams kind of just leave him kind of alone, don't really touch him. And we will see him banned out here, as well as Chen from Kong Blockers to finish up that second ban phase. Then we're going to hit these picks again. I'm not sure what Meow Gamer are going to want to run as their carry. I think they should pick it up here. It is going to be, in fact, the Phantom Lancer. Like I was mentioning, pre-ban phase, I'm really surprised Kong Blockers just decided to ban out supports. And we're just happy to give them that Phantom Lancer. Now we got to see what they want to run up against it. They kind of should have expected that it was going to be the pick when they waited that long, or didn't decide to ban him out. And there's the Gyrocopter, which is one of the two I really figured. I kind of was expecting to see the Gyro ban, but nobody decided to ban carries. Both teams happy to just let them all through. We could both just take them when we want, and it'll be fine. Both, or at the very least, looking for a support here now. Not sure what they're going to want to pick up. If it's going to be
10 seconds remaining.
Really hard support. If they want to grab something like a jungler, maybe they were thinking about Chen, and they might go a different route now. Maybe even something like Enigma. Could give them a lot more team fight as well. To pair up really strongly with the Magnus and the Puck. Not a hero we see a ton of anymore, though. It seems like most of the time the teams do like to run kind of more standard supports. Ones that kind of hang out in lane, mostly rely on pulling to do anything. But I'm not sure. It looks like they're not really sure either. They eventually go with Earthshaker. Interesting to see that they would pick that particular hero up. He's sometimes said that he's pretty good against Phantom Lancer because he can clear off the illusions with his ultimate. But he's been picked up on the Phantom Lancer team. We'll see how it works out for him. He's kind of an awkward support in the fact that he's melee, but has a pretty long initiation range with that fissure. He can stun while staying basically aloof from the lane, and Keeper Light has some of similar traits like that, where you can cast Illuminate kind of far away from the creep wave, basically giving Phantom Lancer solo experience while also being relevant in the lane with your long range abilities. So we'll see if they pair those up particularly well, manage to get something done that way. We're not probably going to be the best at roaming with Keeper Light Earthshaker, neither known for their fantastic roaming potential, like maybe a hero like Leshrac or Shedid, even maybe even Lina really kind of is known for. Earthshaker can set up kills certainly with Fissure if he gets a good angle on them. And Death Prophet coming out as the last pick from Cogblocker, so it's going to be their mid. Almost certainly, and then we'll see Gyrocopter running the carry role. Death Prophet, another hero we don't see a ton of. Those last two picks, each from the last team, or from each respective team, just really kind of surprising. We'll see how they work out, though. Teams playing what they know, going back to the heroes they're definitely comfortable playing. And we're going to get to it, go over the players and their heroes very quickly for this quarterfinal match. We got Vingo Dota going to be playing the Gyrocopter, 4 cog blockers on the dire side. Kefka going to be on the Niche Prophet. Lambda, oh I see, the A is a Lambda. Okay. Lambda playing the Nyx Assassin. Trash on the Death Prophet, and that leaves Lackey on the Rubik. Meantime, for the Radiant side, we got Meow Gaming. It's going to have Puck in the middle lane being played by Push. We're going to have Daddy DJ playing the Earthshaker. Akuma on the Keeper of the Light. Alive on the Phantom Lancer, and that leaves Ice playing the Magnus. Nothing surprising coming out from the lanes thus far. Cogblockers do appear like they're going to be running their lane offensively. Also not particularly surprising considering how the draft went. They gave away the Phantom Lancer, which is a pretty good sign, especially when they had like Nyx Assassin Rubik, that they were going to be committing to going for something off in the aggressive try, trying to contest farm that way. I do feel like they have the stronger supports in this sense, but we'll see if they're able to really keep the Phantom Lancer off the creep wave, really deny his farm. So otherwise, this is going to be kind of awkward for them. They're not going to be really well positioned, and haste root on Lambda leads to him chasing down Akuma, getting those auto attacks, and there comes the first stun. Telekinesis not going to be quite in range. Lambda can't quite get around. The Fissure going to block Lambda in, actually. He's going to eat a tree trying to get around. It's going to be safe, though, and ends up just being able to heal up with it. First creep wave actually being stolen. I'm not sure if this was intentional. Illuminate going to land on all three heroes. Likey taking a lot of damage. Kuma going to be there. Gets the telekinesis. The rocket barrage coming off as well. Splitting some damage with Daddy DJ. Can they get the stun? The Illuminate going to fly through. There's no Fissure because the mana cost is too high for a second one. He's going to be able to get away. Alive now. Can't really do much of anything. Going to throw Spirit Lance at Lambda. Gets stunned up. And that's going to be pretty much the end of it. The second Fissure does come off, but it's on Vingo. It isn't enough to block him in. So, Cogblockers, they get the first kill down in this aggressive trial lead. It's kind of an awkward situation. Whoops. At the moment. Considering how it really went. Really aggressive play, and they ended up not getting punished too hard. Meow just weren't really able to get their spells off maybe as efficiently as they wanted to, and Alive, kind of, if he had come sooner, I think he could have gotten the kill on the Rubik. But they're going to get the kill on the Gyrocopter there, with the Fissure hitting as well as the Spirit Lance, and that's the range I'm talking about. When I'm talking about Fissure being an effective ability in these tri-lanes. Able to do a lot, just from pretty far away. Lets Earthshaker stay in the fight, even if he doesn't have to be particularly close to the creep wave, getting himself harassed. And he's not really going to be able to do a lot of auto tech harass anyway as a melee hero. How's mid lane going? It does look like Death Prophet's getting the advantage, at least at the moment, in terms of last hits.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Push, doing what he can to keep up, not too far behind, only a couple, but still behind. Top lane we have the Nature's Prophet running into the Magnus. Should be a pretty easy lane for Magnus, but it's going pretty close to even at the moment, looks like. He's low on mana and doesn't have enough money for that bottle. Keeps taking these auto attacks from Kefka, actually, trying to get those last hits. Not really succeeding. Illuminate going to fly through in the bottom lane, hits a Lackey. Doing some damage. Keeping them back for as long as possible. But not a lot else going on. Farm just kind of being traded back and forth. Fairlands are a little bit ahead at the moment, just simply because of that kill on Gyrocopter, as well as he sort of saw the first creep wave a little bit longer on his own while it was the fight was going on over in this region. Looks like the supports do want to get something done. There's a sentry ward here from the Radiant side. Not gonna spot, but there is the regular word as well. There we go. Which will see things out. Keeper Light getting those denies. That's something we actually hear a ton of. But otherwise, going pretty decently at the moment. Farm just kind of being traded, but it does appear to be favoring Cogblockers, at least for now. In those other lanes, Puck to get some harass in the mid lane, getting hit by a carrion wave, it looks like. And Kef got to port down to the bottom lane. Pretty surprisingly, gets the treants on Daddy DJ. Not really going to do too much. A lot of harass coming down, but kind of just gets traded. Nyx pretty low on HP as well. Salve going to be used by Phantom Lancer. He's going to get health back up. Then go back to farming, and that's going to leave Nature's Prophet just walking back, I think. He brought a TP scroll, went back at top.
This is ours.
And they get a kill on Gyro again. This Gyro just running into what's coming out of these long range abilities. They can make it so they hit all pretty much simultaneously. The Fissure hits, the Illuminate hits, and the Spirit Lance hits. And that's a pretty large nuke for a hero that really doesn't have a lot of HP, less than 600 max. And that's what he's got to be worried about. We almost have level 5 coming out now from the Phantom Lancer. He's going to have the level 3 in the Spirit Lance as a result. Choosing to get 2 points in Doppelwalk. I don't think this is the build we really see a ton of anymore. Definitely don't see a ton of it. Most of the pros at this point seem to be favoring only getting 1 point in Doppelwalk. It's starting to get juxtaposed early so you can farm the jungle. Doesn't look like that's what he's going to choose to do at the moment, though. But farm continuing to go the way of that Phantom Lancer. But the solos in the other two lanes still favoring cog blockers. And also the top 4 farmers in the game are in those solo lanes. This aggressive try versus defensive try situation is resulting in a lot of kind of neither team getting a ton of farm. In the meantime, Puck actually gets a kill in the mid lane on Death Prophet. Dropped the Dream Coil for that. And Rubik getting killed, as well as Lambda taking a lot of damage. The ultimate Nature's Prophet going to fly through. Finishes off Earthshaker. Going to lead to a kill on Phantom Lancer as well. Slap fights going on down here in the bottom lane. And our homing missile going to fly through on Akuma. Looks like it's going to hit too. Just does some damage, not going to lead to any follow-up kills, it doesn't look like.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And just hanging out, waiting for anything to get done. Down here in this bottom lane. Puck going to miss the illusory orb, doesn't get the kill. On Vingo with the Gyrocopter, regardless, the Spike Carapace keeps Nick's assassin alive as well as stuns up Puck just a little bit, but he's going to be able to get away. Only dealing a little bit of damage to himself.
Radiant's middle tower.
In the meantime, the mid tower taking some damage. Trash, popping the ult on the Death Prophet for this. Not really going to be able to kill it, but we'll be able to clear off this creep wave pretty quickly. Pop another Crypt Storm out. Not quite, doesn't have the mana for it. Alive going to get stunned up by Lambda. He drops the Sentry Ward. It's going to Doppelwalk, but it's not going to be enough. He loses his life. Breaking that last hit with the Fade Bolt. So, another kill on the Phantom Lancer in the bottom lane. Kefka did rotate for that. The Illuminate hits on both Bingo and Kefka. Dealing them some damage that they really probably don't want to be taking. Ice is here. The Fissure going to land. No good reverse polarity yet. The Nature's Prophet ultimate going to fly through. Does some damage to Ice. He's not able to really get a ton done. Gets telekinesis immediately afterwards. So the reverse polarity completely wasted. Looks like he's going to go down as well. Nature's Prophet gets that last hit. The Fissure going to come out and deal some damage. Tries to keep Danny DJ alive. He's standing there hiding. Gets stunned up. And the second hit, he's got like 5 HP.
Top tower is under
20
attack.
HP. All I gotta do is bop him on the head. And they're not going to be able to. He gets away completely.
Bottom tower is under
Completely
attack.
fine. Just, you know, pretty badly injured. Doesn't have an injured walk animation though. So nobody will know.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Kefka making his way back up to this top lane on the Nature's Prophet. Starting to set up some sort of push here. And these pushes are kind of going on constantly. Deny going to be on the tier 1 in the mid lane by Puck, however. So, Death Prophet not able to seal the deal on that one. Fissure going to come out from Ice as well as he returns to top lane, able to kill the push off. Does take some damage on his tower once again, which is worrisome. Their towers taking a lot of hits. Both top and mid approaching, or top and bottom, excuse me, approaching half HP. That means if ever, like this Magnus tries to rotate out, if Death Prophet just goes top, can take this tower very, very quickly with that ultimate. Kuma taking a lot of damage in the hit jungle, trying to farm these neutrals. Completely out of mana and health, I'm just going to walk back to base probably. Doesn't look like much is going on in the top lane. Ice trying to chase down Kefka, gonna get the skewer after the chase there from the Sprout. Gets the kill actually. So finishes off Nature's Prophet, diving the tier 1 tower, the ult.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Push, fighting Trash, trying to deal whatever damage he can. Trash does have that double damage rune, using the bottle charges now as well. And heading towards the bottom lane. It's not going to spawn for another 20 seconds. So would be kind of surprised to see Trash just hang out here. Maybe they're trying to set up a rotation down this bottom lane. Get a kill on Alive maybe. Take a tower. No big deal. And we're going in. It looks like a Sentry Ward did get dry. There's a Sentry Ward just in the jungle from the Radiant side. Alright. Well, it spots out Lackey because he was standing directly on top of it, so they know what's going on. Vingo heading back behind the tower trying to find anybody out. See if they can spot him. DJ gets spotted. The ult gonna come down. Called out alive, gonna toss out a Spirit Lance so they know he's there as well. Reverse player gonna land on a couple. The Skewer gonna pull them back in the tower as well, doing some damage to the Lambda. You need to get Vingo down, and the Spirit Lance will finish him off. Lambda getting chased down by Ice. It looks like he'll probably lose his life. Can they get trashed though? It's the real question. Alive, just gonna walk up, be able to get that kill. It seems like Lackey dodges actually the Dream Coil, but still will lose his life. Another kill. For push on the puck, it's a double kill for him, 10-6. Now the kill score after they go 4-for-1 in this bottom lane. So Meow taking a pretty big fight there. They defend their tower, get a bunch of kills, set up some space for Phantom Lancer to farm, but in the meantime they do take, well, actually not that much damage on this top lane. Looked like the Nature's Prophet was going for a push, but wasn't really able to get a ton done. Does have his Midas done as well, some boots picked up. Not the fastest Midas of all time, but doing okay, and he's moved around quite a bit trying to help this bottom lane. Was working pretty well previously, but falling a little bit behind now with this kill score hitting 10-6 in favor of Meow.
Pull roots and run.
Looks like mid lane DJ just gonna toss out a little bit of a fissure there, give him a little harass. Let him know he means business. And then just back off because he's going to have a lot of mana. And everyone else just farming it up elsewhere on the map. It looks like Akuma continuing to jungle on this Keeper of the Light. He's up to level 6 now. So does have that ultimate as well as the third point in Chakra Magic. Ping's coming out that there's probably a Keeper of the Light here. And Lambda. Super dead.
Not fairly.
Even uses the stun after he dies to show him he meant. He's like, still have all these spells, guys. Just still have all of these. Ice getting a kill in the top lane on the Nature's Prophet with some help from push. The Dream Coil being used for that as well. And put some Empower on trying to clear off these treants. Not going to be able to really chase after them. Just go after the creep wave. Get that far.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And we're back down here. Lambda popping the Spike Carapace, dealing some damage back to the heroes. From Meow in the bottom lane, looks like the tower's going to go down. Bingo getting the last hit on his Gyrocopter. Trash, throwing a Crypt Swarm. Brought Ice in with the recall. He's trying to skewer. He's going to get stunned up. Telekinesis, homing missile, silence. The call down being used as well. Ice in a lot of trouble. He is going to be able to do some damage to Vingo, and it looks like they probably will seal. No, maybe not. Maybe not going to be able to get the kill. They're all just going down. 3 kills for nothing. That time in favor of Cog Blockers. Loser Orb going to fly through. Doesn't really do too much. Hits Lackey a little bit on this Rubik. Deals some damage, but not going to be able to secure any kills. We're probably going to have to get back. Just trying to stall up this push, deal damage, kill off the creep wave. All that's left is really treants. But that's all they need. They can sit there, use that to tank up. The Death Prophet was still going. It's going to end now. And that's their sign to get out of here. Finish this push off. Just back off. Farm up the Radiant Jungle just a tad. Take advantage of that on your way out. And then just backing off. Lackey hanging out in the jungle, maybe thinking about warding here. Drops one. I think Push should have been able to see that. Don't know if he's going to have necessarily noticed that it got dropped. But I believe he was in range as his daytime to have seen the ward be placed. Everyone just kind of moving around, trying to farm where they can. Leader on the net worth board is the Death Prophet. Doesn't really pick too much up. Went straight for mech, actually.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Definitely an item that you want to have pretty early on your team. It just is more effective the earlier you get it. But is relevant all game. Looks like a defense going to come out in this top lane. Ice going to come in. No reverse play for a few seconds left. Already used the skewer, so the Sprout going to be the end of that. But Dream Coil from Push going to be enough to set up the kill. Push gets the last hit. And Gyrocopter
Radiant's
loses
bottom
life once
tower
again.
is
Not
under
having a
attack.
great game here. It's phase boots and a ring of Aquila, but not really setting much up beyond it. Ice, he's sitting on a bottle. Getting anything up on push? Not quite. He's drums and treads, so he's quite fast.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And also has a lot more strength than maybe most pucks would have, getting the plus 20, having the strength treads as well as the drums. Gives her a lot more survivability early on in the game. Puck, you don't normally see
Dire's top tower
this much
is
health
under
this early.
attack.
Usually nowadays they're rushing things like the Blink Dagger. And Trash and Push just trading hits in that middle lane. In the meantime, Ice can lose his life in the top lane. First player to gonna land on 3 before he dies. But he's still gonna lose his life to the Gyrocopter's homing missile that just sails right in and gives him a little pop, bap on the head.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Not much else going on. The tower is gonna go down, destroyed by Vingo on the Gyrocopter. So Cogblocker's getting another tower there. That puts them up by 3. Having taken the tier 1 in each lane. They've already dealt a pretty fair amount of damage to tier 2 in the bottom lane as well. And it looks like we're going to need a quick pause coming out from Lambda. Hanging out, waiting to get back to it. We can look at experience and gold. This experience is pretty close to even, sitting only about 1,000 in favor of Meow. Gold, on the other hand, on Cogblocker side, bye-bye. So gonna just wait around there,
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
hoping that they continue building up this gold advantage, and that's mostly going to be on the backs of these towers. And they take another one, tier 2 in the top lane. Looks like they might be thinking about just going high ground right here. They have a lot of heroes here. It's pretty aggressive. Those are doing a lot of damage, and they might be ready to just back off. Ice does not have the reverse play, of course. He did use it in the top lane, kind of needlessly as he died.
Here I am. Stay near. Silence.
Push going on Lambda, they should be able to get this kill. He's just not going to be able to do too much. He's trying to run away. He uses the ult, but the fissure's going to be there from the Earthshaker. Finishes him off.
Take you.
Earthshaker first. And they do get that kill as a result. Push trying to farm up once again up to about 1100 gold. Not sure if the Blink Dagger is going to be the next thing on the list. Or if we're going to wait and see. Maybe something else. Kind of expecting BKB to be the pickup from Gyrocopter now, but he doesn't finish Drum yet, and with this Bracer pickup, you kind of expect that he wanted to go for it. You need to have Phantom Lancer. He's getting closer and closer to that Diffusal Blade. Probably going to have it in the near future. Only about 150 gold off. That's going to help him get involved in fights as well. I don't know necessarily that he will want to. Probably wants some more farm before he gets too involved with anything like that. But it does give him some more damage, and if he needs to get involved, especially if Cogblockers really think about trying to push into high ground like it was looking like they may be considering in the top lane, then he'll be more available than he otherwise might be. Shadowblade actually picked up by Nature's Prophet now. Pretty typical, has the Midas, Treads, Upsilius, and then the Shadowblade. Urn up on the Nyx Assassin. It doesn't look like Death Prophet has picked anything else up yet. But someone's going to be picking up an Aegis momentarily. Doesn't look like the Rain side are aware. They don't have any vision of anything even remotely approaching it.
Roshan has fallen to the Dire.
So, going to be a free Aegis for Vingo. And it only leaves him about 1100 gold away from the BKB, if that is the next item on his list. And they're heading up the mid lane. The ult going to be down from Death Prophet momentarily. And actually it goes down as I say that. So it might be a little aggressive for them to think that they need to push right now. They have about a minute left until it comes back up. It looks like Pipe is going to be her next option with the Casual Cloak picked up thus far. And a Ring of Health sitting in her stash. Looks like we might be getting a fight. Lambda going to be spotted out by a sentry orb being placed. He's still alive for the moment. Going to stun quite a few up. Nature's Prophet able to finish off Keeper Light in the meantime. The Earthshaker gets the Echo Slam off, not doing a ton. The reverse player going to land a couple catches. Vingo gets the kill, but Kefka's already gotten a triple kill. He's going alive. Can he get the third kill? Or fourth kill, rather. Gets one last, maybe 2 right clicks on alive. Not going to be able to keep up with it. And it looks like everyone else is going to be able to get out the puck. Just TPing out there. But they end up trading 3 lives and some spells. And they only get the Aegis in return. That means they're going to lose this tier 2 in the mid lane as well. Everyone will be respawned before they can really commit to going on a tier 3. The tier 2 should be pretty easy for them to take. And Vingo, in fact, does get the last hit. Stun comes out and actually lands on push. He's taking a lot of damage. Lambda, though, taking just as much. He's going to pop the spike carrier, stuns up alive for the moment. The telekinesis is going to be there as well. Alive, in some trouble. The ult coming out from Death Prophet going to lead to the end of push. Alive, able to get away, at least for the moment. DJ, he's going to lose his life as well. Magnus able to kill off the Nature's Prophet, but not before Nature's Prophet kills, gets one attack off, finishes off the Keeper Light. So they end up trading several heroes once again. Death Prophet hanging out around with his ult off. Silence comes out from push, almost hits on Lambda, would have been his dad. Gonna get the stun out there, then another stun on push. He's taking a lot of damage. The silence is there well. Can they get the Crypt Storm? The mana burn's enough. Puck goes down. Alive, trying to get in range. Really wanted to get that Spirit Lance on Lambda to finish him off, but the Earn Charge is there. Gonna keep him back alive. Back up in good condition. And it looks like Cogblockers are gonna be happy to just back off. Resting on the laurels of that fight and all of the advantage they managed to eke out of it. And we'll take a look at exactly what they got. Experience now 5k in their favor. And gold dipping, approaching 12k. Here we go. Another tower. Squarely in the sights and actually gets destroyed by Kefka porting in. Just bopping it with his tree staff. So that's the last outer tower down for Meow Gaming. And Cogwalkers looking to be in a pretty powerful commanding position here. The thing to be worried about is they don't have the Aegis this time. And that really kind of won that in that last fight, even though it didn't feel like they got a lot from when they lost the Aegis. The way the fight went after that, where they kept getting, or Meow Gaming was forced to continue trying to push them out of the base, and they were always behind on numbers, losing maybe 1 or 2. And getting 1 in return. Now they're going to be at full strength again. It's going to be a big 5v5 fight. And they're not going to have the Aegis to get a reset on the Gyrocopter. It was still relatively easy to kill and actually picked up a Sacred Relic. I think this is very aggressive. Very aggressive. The Courier goes down for the Radiant. I'm sure it died. Kind of expect that Nature's Prophet did it, but he is in base. Maybe he caught it out. Picks up a Maelstrom now, so going for that attack speed. Looks like Akuma taking some damage from the Nature's Prophet ultimate in the base, losing like 3/4 of his health. From the ult, probably some harass as well. Maybe from Bingo. Just gonna be able to heal up, he'll be perfectly fine. And everyone else just trying to farm. We see Alive actually farming in the Dire Jungle, feeling like it's the safest place to be, because it's the least likely place for them to really look. They're going to be expecting him to be in the Radiant Jungle, and he's just going to hang out there. Has a TP scroll and probably going to be forced to use it momentarily because there's a push coming in this bottom lane. Akuma continuing to hurt himself with these Illuminates. Getting punished repeatedly by the Spike Carapace up from Lambda. That time not going to be off cooldown, so it will land. And the tier 3 going to start taking some damage. Vingo going in, getting hit by the tower actually a little bit. Not breaking the aggro maybe as quickly as he wanted to. Spike Carapace is not actually going to do anything for Lambda as he wasn't able to get in range that time. And Vingo going to get hit by a Spirit Lance. Immediately popping that Rock Brush, trying to get out of range. Reverse Polarity not quite there. The silence is there, however, on ice. And Rubik already gets the kill on Puck with that silence. The ult from Trash coming off. They're going to have to go in now and try and do damage to this tier 3 if they want to go for it. While the Death Prophet ult's up, Akuma doing some damage with the Illuminate once again. Regen room gonna get
Radiant
popped by
structures are
Trash
fortified.
while he's tanking a tower. Alright. Someone else probably needs to do this. So Trash can heal. Bottle, I don't know. Ult gonna end, just gets full healed basically now as a result
Radiant's
of that.
top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower
In the
has
meantime,
fallen.
Kefka takes the tower, starting to hurt the range rags. Kuma trying to fight him, probably
Radiant's
not the
bottom
best
tower
idea.
is under attack.
Going to mech up the heal, but now they're trying to stop Kefka. There we go in the bottom lane. 2-3 gonna go down. That one gyrocopter gonna
Radiant's
finish off, and
bottom
that's
tower has fallen.
probably gonna be the seal that ends this game. Bingo. Maybe in some trouble, might end up losing his life. The reverse polarity gonna miss completely from ice. Everyone was able to split just enough that didn't catch. The cooldown gonna be used by Bingo before he goes down, so able to do some good damage that way. Push still alive and should be able to get out. Gonna be able to dodge the stun.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Trash continuing to chase with the Crypt Storm. The Illuminate going to mostly miss. Hits on the catapult, kills that off, which just helps slow down the kill on the barracks. But once again, their focus is on this bottom lane. They're gonna get some kills. As a result, Lambda might even go down as well with that defusal charge. Almost certainly will go down. He goes into ult from alive, needs to be careful. Lambda realizes
Radiant's top
something's
barracks-
wrong.
Radiant's top
Takes some
barracks
damage from
has
that
fallen.
illusory orb, but Kefka.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
This is a pretty aggressive attack by Kefka. He might end up getting punished. Push doesn't have the ult, but there is the fissure. He's gonna just try and pour it out. Just another stun, and that's enough.
I will rise next season.
Kefka dies. Buys back immediately because he already got racks in that top lane. Now it's time for him to get some racks in the bottom lane. Actually ports in to kill Push.
Lie
Alright.
now in your grave.
It's a little salty probably.
I'm done.
Puck buys back as well. DJ taking some damage from Kefka. He's low on HP, needs to be careful. Echo Slam's there as well. They're gonna finish him off.
Mr. Gray.
They used a lot of spells for that, but anytime fan lanes are dodging the bottom lane to Trash, and he's gonna have the ult back off cooldown. Pops the pipe on himself, the creep wave, Lambda, and there goes the ultimate.
Are under attack.
It's gonna be the Rex going down here as well. They're not gonna have anything up in time to really stop them. Ghosts are just gonna finish it off, even if they keep them stunned forever.
Radiant's bottom
Push getting
barracks
stunned
are
up a little
under
bit, not
attack.
gonna be able to set up anything off of it. The Range Rex going to be the next target. Ghosts. Trying to do whatever damage they can. Lambda gonna reflect that once again. Cryptstorm gonna fly through. Trash getting healed up as their ult ends.
Stay near. Here I am.
Push going in pretty deep. Ice is there as well. The reverse parry off cooldown. We'll see if he's able to catch it. He gets in on Bingo and Trash. Probably the two heroes they want most. The gem going to be dropped on the ground. Bingo taking a lot of damage from alive, doing a lot of damage as well though. He needs to make sure he doesn't die, and he will hold on.
Bottom barracks are under
This
attack.
is
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
This is a little more aggressive than it needs to be. GG gonna get called by Push. They take it, but Cog Blocker is a little throwy.
Tower is under attack.
A little throwy, picking up the Divine Rapier, basically naked on Gyrocopter, 28 minutes in. Probably not the most necessary thing. They're gonna take it though, everyone from the rain side. Starting to disconnect now. And then we'll get to see that scoreboard for you guys.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen. Radiant's middle
Once again, this was a
barracks has
quarter-final
fallen.
match
Now have
in the Thermal Take eSports Weekly Dota 2 Tournament number 10. Powered by Androids TV, and of course brought to you by me, your caster, Kanaz. You can follow Androids on Androids TV, twitch.tv/Androids TV. There are also other websites that they use, which will be available on the screen in between games. And you can follow me if you're interested in that, my casting work outside of this tournament, at twitch.tv/Canasta, Kanacta. That's it for this game. We will be moving on to a semifinal match momentarily. Thanks for coming, and be back in a bit.